Hello pumpkins! Today I am going to do a tarot reading on Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and their upcoming arrival. If you are not aware, you probably are by now, but Meghan is expecting her second child with Prince Harry. They already have a son. I think the son's name is Archie, and they've announced that they're expecting their second child. If you would like to book a reading for yourself, you can book a private reading at www.carolyneironwool.com. And if you would like to buy a tea or EAT for Merlin, I will leave a link for you to do so as well. For those of you who keep asking, yes, I am going to the hospital today. I know I've been putting this off. I won't be getting surgery today. My doctor called me last Friday and told me that I needed to go to the emergency room to meet with a physician and book an appointment for a surgery in 2 to 3 weeks. So that's kind of why I haven't made it an emergency, because it's not like, you need to have it done now, but it does need to get done and I need to quit putting it off. Right now I'm waiting for my neighbor to move their car, so there's room for me to get by and not drive into a snowbank, but yes, I am going today. So I actually have already drawn the cards for the spread. I'm just doing a 4-card spread today. I am using the Gilded Tarot, this isn't the Gilded, this is the Wildwood, oh, this isn't the Wildwood either, this is the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz. I will leave a link to it below. It is a beautiful deck. It's not a deck I would recommend for beginners. Beginner deck I recommend. I should make a video about like top 5 beginner decks. Beginner deck, Gilded Tarot, which was my first deck. I've bought several editions of this deck and worn it out thoroughly. It's a great deck for beginners, and I will leave the link to that below as well. Okay, so the cards I have here are the Father or the King of Cups, the 5 of Pence, the Mother or the Queen of Wands reversed, and the Fool reversed. So looking at the Father of Cups, now this is also the King of Cups, depending on what deck you're using. It would be very immediate to go to, oh, this is the royal family, this is the future king. I don't think that's the case. What I think that this describes is going to be Harry's role as father. So yes, he of course loves Archie. I believe his son. So of course he loves his son, but I think that this child is really going to show what kind of a dad he is. We wanted to brush off Harry in his younger days as being a real playboy, as being a bit of a wild child, but I think that he really has matured into an upstanding gentleman, and I think that this child is really going to be the apple of his eye, and I think that we are going to see more public displays of him out with his kids. I'm not saying that this is a favorite child at all. I think he's going to love his kids both equally, but I think in the public eye we're really going to see him being a loving, doting dad. There is going to be issue about footing the cost and who's footing the cost for this. So I believe they are living in Canada right now, and there's going to be issues around who's paying for this baby, because the royal family came to Canada and there was some issues about Canada paying for the security details for the prince, because he has I know that there's a technical word, I can't think of it right now. He has given up his rights to the throne, and really he's far down. His first would be Prince Charles, and then after that you've got William, and then William's kids, and then you have Harry, and then Archie, and then this baby. I think, I'm not a royal watcher, I'm not a royal expert. My mother actually grew up in England and follows the royal family far more than I do, but yeah, that's my awareness of how the royal family works. So I don't think that this kid is in line for the throne, and I think especially considering what happened to Harry's mom, he's really okay with his family and his kids stepping out of the spotlight and focusing on their own lives and their own family. And I think that they are both going to have careers. Meghan is going to continue as an actress. Work is going to be something more difficult for her because she's now famous for being royalty and not necessarily famous for being an actress. So I think that the roles that she's going to take are going to be like smaller indie type films, and she's going to be more interested in pursuing a dynamic character rather than just the pretty girl. But yeah, in terms of the cost of this, I think that for the birth of this child, they will want to go back to England, and the reason for that is because of cost. I mean, a lot of reasons, but who's foot in the bill for this? And I think that Canadians would be quite upset if Canadian resources were used towards the royal baby, because of course there's going to be all this security detail and all that stuff. So I think that, and they're going to want the child to be born in England with all the stuff that goes around being a British citizen. Although my mom grew up in England, she was a base brat. She was born in Canada, so I don't know too much about that. But yeah, there's going to be issues about the bill, and I think that Meghan is looking at having a more difficult pregnancy, and I think that early on she might end up having to access some prenatal appointments in Canada, and that's going to cause some issues and her want to spend the rest of her pregnancy in England, which is going to be a little more difficult for her to be away from home. But also this is going to be great because she's going to have the support of her brother and sister-in-law, and Archie is going to have support with his cousins around. So I think this is going to be a good move for her to be spending the bulk of her pregnancy, especially the last half of her pregnancy, in England. Yeah, I think there's going to be some complications, and I think the complications are going to be long-term for Meghan. So there's, and for those of us who have given birth before, you know, there's some long-term stuff that happens to a woman's body. Sometimes some women are able to bounce back right away, and some women have, you know, back issues going long-term. Some women have, you know, postpartum depression that can go on for years and be quite serious. So I think that Meghan could be looking at some long-term recovery for having this baby, and could possibly be looking at a cesarean and complications due to an emergency cesarean, things like that. I think the baby's going to be born breech, and there will be some issues around that. But I do think that you know, this is going to be a challenge, but I think they're going to get through it as a family, and I think you're really going to see Harry step up to the plate, not only as a father, but also as a husband, as a really caring and supportive husband. Now, I am very good at tarot. I've been doing it for a long time. The one thing that I am never accurate on is the gender of a baby. I don't know why. It should be 50-50. I should be right half the time, but I'm always wrong. Now, I think that they are going to have a girl, so expect them to have a boy, because this is something I'm always wrong about. But I think this is kind of why we're seeing that Father of Cups come up, of him really having daddy's little girl, and him really enjoying having a daughter. And that's supposed to be the royal family or the millionaire family, right, of having a boy and then having a girl. So I think this completes their family. I don't think that they're going to have a large family, and I think a lot of that is going to be because of Meghan's complications. They are under no obligation to talk about their long-term stuff or their health stuff or their personal stuff, but I do think that the term rainbow baby is going to be used, so this may be a case of that they lost a child either through miscarriage. I mean, obviously she didn't come to term, but I think there may have been a lost child before this, or a failed pregnancy before this. So this daughter being very special to Harry and Meghan, for both those reasons. Now, as I said, I don't think that they're going to be playing favorites of which child they like most. I think they're going to love both of their children. But yeah, I do think this is going to be a girl. This is going to be Daddy's little girl, and you're really going to see Harry shine through as a father and as a husband. So that is my prediction, my interpretation of the cards for Harry and Meghan and their forthcoming bundle of joy. If you would like to book your own tarot reading, you can do so at www.carolinironwool.com. The link is below. Have a great day, pumpkins. Wear a mask, stay safe, wash your hands, stay 6 feet away from anyone you don't live with, and I will talk to you later. Bye, pumpkins.